So today is kind of reverse psychology. So I'm not going to be as serious today as I maybe usually am. No, just kidding. But yeah, today really my intention is to give you that gentle reminder to not take things so seriously, but to have a little fun. And the first, probably most important strategy I would recommend everyone who wants to stay stuck with their weight is to only focus on calories. It doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter whether you sleep well or how well you take care of your emotions. The only important thing you want to be focusing on is calories in versus calories out. And the amazing thing about that is you can basically eat whatever you want. You can eat the junk food, you can eat the cookies, you can eat the ice cream, you can eat all that stuff. And most importantly, after a week or two of having been on a super restrictive, diet with a huge calorie deficit, you probably are going to be really, really hungry, and you're probably going to want to eat some junk food, and like a big amount. And then you should absolutely totally go for it and just eat as much as you want. And basically the amazing thing when you do that is that you're gonna undo everything you have been doing for the past week or two. You're basically gonna undo everything, and you're gonna be back where you were. And that's just amazing, because that way you'll always stay stuck, which, that's the goal of this video, to help you stay stuck where you were. The second one is, as I already mentioned in point 1, you definitely want to stock up on a lot of junk foods. You want to buy, all the candies, all the chips, all the cookies. You want to have as much as you can of these things in your house. If you already have them, great. Start actually eating those. Don't buy any vegetables. Don't buy any fruit. If you go to the supermarket section and you go to the vegetable and fruit aisle, I'll tell you, just run. Like, don't even look at these things. Just run straight to the frozen section, where you have your frozen pizzas, you have your ice cream. That's where you really want to get the majority of the things you buy. You want to get your majority in the frozen section, because that's where it's not so fresh, and that's really, really important that you buy it frozen, because the more frozen stuff you have, the better it is, for sure. But don't focus on frozen berries or frozen vegetables. Like, those parts you can definitely also skip. Just go straight to the frozen pizza. And then just load up your cart with as much as you can fit into your freezer. And if you still have frozen berries or stuff in your freezer, definitely get rid of all that stuff. Maybe, you can give that to friends, so you have more space in your freezer for all the junk food. And then the third one, and that's really, really important, once you have loaded up on those junk foods and eaten those, afterwards, you want to feel extremely guilty and ashamed when you've eaten those things, okay? Because that way, you will continue doing that over and over again, which is what we want if we want to stay stuck, right? We want to continue that loop of feeling guilty, eating junk food, feeling guilty, eating junk food, right? So it's really important. I cannot stress this point enough. And I would say this is probably more for the advanced ones under us. We want to beat ourselves up, feel ashamed, and we also shouldn't believe in ourselves that we can do better next time. But instead, we really want to focus on strengthening that guilt. We do not want to give that guilt space, all right? Because if we give it space and we actually allow it to be there, it's probably going to go away. So we definitely want to resist that guilt, and we want to feel guilty for feeling guilty, okay? Really, really important. The next one kind of ties into that. So if we want to stay stuck with our weight, it's also really important that we resist our current circumstances. So whatever impact that has in our lives, maybe on the relationships in our lives or our work relationships, maybe our productivity, all of these things we want to like really be in a lot of resistance towards. And most importantly, the way people view us and think about us because of our weight. We really shouldn't give that any like space. We should really resist that, okay? So it's really important, like if, for example, you have like a really important wedding coming up, or like a trip to the beach, or like a vacation with friends or family, you should definitely want, it's really like ideal circumstances would be you have 1 month till that, and you should really want to be extra lean till then. So that pressure is really going to allow you to not take action because the pressure is so strong. So that's what we want, okay? And then when we are there and we haven't gotten the results, we really want to resist the way things are right now. That's really, really important for sure. So I think that could be really helpful for a lot of us. And then the 5th strategy, well, that's also a really, really juicy one. So we want to continue spending as much time as we can with toxic people, okay? If you have toxic people, I urge you after this video, call them up and say, hey, I would like to spend the weekend with you. Can we maybe hang out? Can we do a sleepover? And then just like complain about other people when you hang out with them a lot. That's going to be really helpful. You can complain about the weather. That's always a good one. You can complain about, different diseases you're maybe experiencing right now. Just that's really, really good, I think. And then, also make sure these are people who do not want you to succeed with your weight loss goals. So if they maybe eat unhealthy, that's really good, because if they accept you eating healthy, if they're unhealthy, then you shouldn't be spending time with them, okay? Like, then I would just run again and find someone who does not accept that you want to change. So whenever they would maybe eat like a pizza or like a hot dog or whatever, they would have to force you to also have something of that, okay? That would be ideal scenario. And if you cannot find someone like that, maybe you can make a post in your local Facebook group that you're looking for someone who wants to go out once a week to maybe eat some junk or something. That could maybe work as well. And also really, really important, the reason these people do not want you to succeed is because they do not want to change themselves. So it's ideal scenarios, because that way it'll be impossible for you to change, which is what we want, right? We want to stay stuck, and we absolutely do not want a lean, slim physique, okay? And then the 6th one, I would say, is one for the more advanced ones again, and that is if you have found a strategy, maybe you've heard it online somewhere, or maybe a friend gave you a tip, for example, low carb, you found that, and you've tried it, and it maybe worked for a little bit, but now it doesn't work anymore, then you definitely want to continue doing that, okay? So you want to hold on to strategies that don't work. If you're a lot into doing exercise programs and regimens that are just very exhausting, that you cannot stick with, then you have to keep forcing yourself, and at least you should set the goal to do that kind of exercise on the day, okay? If you don't do it, perfect. Then we can go back to the 3rd tip I gave you, and you can really beat yourself up for not having done it. So definitely find exercise regimens and find a diet that you hate so much that you cannot stick with it, and that it doesn't give you the results, okay? And if you found that, it's really important that you keep doing it, and you keep pushing, and you keep trying to succeed with it. Because that way, the amazing thing is, you're never going to get that lean body, which is what we want, right? So perfect. And then the last one, and this is also really important, you want to increase fat and protein as much as you can. So load up again on, protein-rich foods, protein powders. You want to buy lots of oil, get yourself like a good MCT oil, get yourself some extra virgin olive oil, get yourself a lot of seeds and nuts. Yeah, and then when you're hungry, you can just grab like a 200-gram, I don't know how many ounces that is, but you can get like a big bag of nuts. And when you're watching TV and you just want a little snack, you just eat the entire bag of nuts. Perfect. You're gonna feel absolutely energized the next day, and it's gonna be really effective. And nuts are also really, really high in protein, so really good. And whenever you make a really healthy big bowl of salad, just put like a whole cup of oil over it. Perfect. That's gonna help you to feel super energized. You're gonna feel really motivated and excited to go out and move and exercise. And but I wouldn't really put like any carbs into your meals, okay? Just protein and fat. Forget about fruit, because that has too much sugar, okay? So don't put any fruit, in your breakfast, or like don't have any fruit as a snack, because that sugar, no, you do not want to mess with that, okay? Because that sugar would actually also give you energy, and then you would actually start exercising more and losing weight. And as we all know, then we would get a lean body. So that wouldn't be any good. So definitely focus on nuts, oils, protein, everything that's high in protein. Nothing is off limits. Also, do not focus on the animal's well-being. You want to absorb all the suffering that the animals go through in the slaughterhouses. You want to absorb all of that into your own system so that you yourself feel depressed and unmotivated. You only care about yourself and your weight loss results. Also, do not care about your health. That's not important. The only thing you should focus on is the number on the scale and the calories in, calories out, and that you eat a lot of protein. All the rest really isn't that important. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed those tips. Again, it wasn't very serious, but if you actually want some tips on how you can release excess body fat with ease and keep it off for life, then check out this video.